Damian, where
This
do you
video is
rank
brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Dallas in the NFC?
Marley, I would say at their highest, fourth. Like, this is a lesser team than last year. You know, when you look at, they got to replace a couple pieces on the offensive line. Who's the running back? They don't have a number 2 wide receiver. Like, defensively, I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. So when I look at the sum of all the parts with the Dallas Cowboys, the highest that I can put the Dallas Cowboys is fourth, and that might be giving them a favor.
A favor.
I think this is a much lesser team than the teams we've seen go 12 and winning 12 games. I think 3 consecutive seasons.
Nick?
Yeah, they've won 12-5 the last 3 consecutive seasons, which is nothing to sneeze at. I think Damian's right. They are a lesser team than they've been. That doesn't mean that they can't have as much or more success, because we saw last year. I think we didn't anticipate Dak having the type of season that he ended up having. But the talent isn't gone from the Cowboys roster. They've weakened on the offensive line. I think it's the biggest concern, but they're still getting Diggs back. They still have Lawrence they still have Lawrence as an incredible pass rusher and Micah Parsons as another incredible pass rusher. They still have the pieces to be one of the better teams in the NFC, but I do think they've taken a step back talents-wise. I would be less generous, but not by much. I think they're 5th or 6th best team in the NFC, but I do think that depending on how they respond to the answers that were presented in the playoff game to their offensive system. I think that was the biggest problem with the Cowboys, was they didn't change things. They were kind of, we do what we do and it works. And then when they got to a team that was game planning for the things that they were doing, they didn't have another answer. And whether you want to blame that on the coaches or on Dak or whoever, I'm not sure it matters. I know who Stephen A. is going to blame it on, because clearly it's going to be on Dak Prescott. But that seemed to be the issue for them offensively in the playoff game. Their defense was atrocious, and offensively, it seemed like the Packers knew exactly what they were going to do, and the Cowboys didn't have an answer for it.
So I have them 8th and out of the playoffs. Okay. I think San Francisco's better. I think Philly's better. I think Detroit is better. I think Green Bay is better. I think the Rams are better.
What?
I think Seattle's better.
What?
And I think someone from the South is obviously going to get better. And I think
are you just naming teams?
2 teams from the South are going to be just as good, if not better. Okay, we have question marks at left tackle, center, right tackle, tailback, receiver outside of CeeDee Lamb, defensive tackle, inside linebacker, and Neek. You would know far better than I. And I know Trayvon's coming back, but I don't know what he's going to be like coming off of an ACL. Like, is he going to be that same guy?
Shut all the way the fuck up until you reach the top of Shut Fuck Mountain, where there are no more fuck-ups to shut.
Well, what's going on? Game Time, Brian, joining us tonight here because I played that from about a month or so ago to see where we are in comparison. How are you doing tonight, Game Time? How's the mail delivery going? You get back to work this week, right?
Nah, Monday, Friday I'll be back. I know it's a weird day to return, but I took the days after the holiday, so Friday I'll be returned for a couple days, and then normal schedule next week.
Okay. All right. Well, you have just been growing in leaps and bounds. Shout out to you, man. Going to the Mark Holmes School of YouTube, man. Proud of you, man. You're way over 30,000 subscribers and continually growing. And doing that in the off season is not an easy thing to do. So way to go.
Thanks, man.
Let me say shout out to the lovely ladies here. I got Roland's review. What's up, Roland? And here's the secret is to go ahead and do your sample, upload it as a video, and see if it gets flagged. So we're good for Gina Thorne there. All right, so listening to the expert that is Dan Orlowski and the team that we have do have questions at center, right, left tackle, of course, and now even running back. I personally feel that I think the team has actually addressed the problems. Maybe not in the way people would like. Maybe people would be happier if we got Derrick Henry instead of Dalvin Cook.
What's up, Brian?
Maybe people have been happier if we re-signed Tyron Smith, but early from what I've seen, at least with Tyler Guyton, and I know it's only preseason, not necessarily going against the best talent. I feel like okay, this is a reasonable move. And my defense, I gotta say, it has to be better, just from the simple fact that we have some linebackers. What are your thoughts here?
Well, it's funny, right? If we don't do any moves, right, and we don't turn over the page to young talent, this is not, bargain basement. This isn't sale rack. This is top flight talent in Tyler Guyton. You can say whatever you want about him. He's a first round draft pick. But Forever Runway, no. Nick Chubb, no problem. Zimmer's throwing the house at Watson with the super chat.
Well, their left tackle is not. Shout out to Forever Runway.
Forever Runway.
Got you here. Actually, I got everybody from yesterday here in a pile. We'll do a drawing tonight for one of the plaques. Their left tackle is not ready to go right now, and they have their right tackle who tore his ACL in week 1, who hasn't played left tackle in 10 years, practicing this week to be the left tackle.
Well, again, everybody, the Dallas Cowboys are put in a microscope. At some point, you have to go young. It's funny how other teams can go young and they're praised for it, right? They're praised for it.
Yeah, we hear about the Eagles secondary. Oh, they're going to probably have 2 rookies starting.
The first thing you hear about is, Dallas has got a new coordinator. Okay, well, you got a new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator.
Second year in a row.
Well, It's always a but. The bottom line is Dallas has won 12 games the last 3 years.
Yep.
They can win 11 and be better. I told everybody this. So they're not probably going to win 12, but it ain't going to take 12 to win a division. I don't know. They'll stay tuned for my video tomorrow, and I will, I got some flack giving the Eagles. I gave the Eagles a 10-win year. I think that's very good for that, as bad a defense as you guys have. I'll tell you, Mark, the Eagles think they're just expecting the Kellen Moore to come in and just light it up.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Shout out to Lola. I finally figured out how to get with the new computer of Lola. I finally got your theme song. That's the thing that kills me is automatically everybody, all the talking heads. Oh, the Eagles, they're going to win the division. Eagles, 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 Eagles. But I'm sitting here looking at the Eagles and I say, yeah, they've got some big guys in the middle, but where's the pass rush coming from?
Right. Exactly.
They got rid of their best pass rusher in Hassan Reddick, who still isn't showed up or anything for the Jets yet. Their linebacking core was awful last year. I'm still seeing the tweets of this is going to be Nakobe Dean's year
on Nakobe Dean and the linebacker, the 1-year deal out of Tampa. We're going to be just fine, 3-1 out the gate. Wow, Wade! Look at Wade swinging. I like it.
The way Walker Wade went to my ass yesterday. Pause.
Big time.
I was like, damn, bro. You just beat the shit out of me. That was crazy. 3-1, Wade? If they go out 3-1, then unfortunately the expectations will go through the roof, and then nothing short of a Super Bowl would be suffice there. I'm sitting here in my mind as we sit here.
What's up,
6
some
days,
people? There's no way.
6 days away. You gamble? You play blackjack or poker or anything?
I know the game. I might, I have.
It's like Jerry Jones is like playing. He's gambling like he's playing cards. Like he's got a 18 in blackjack and he gonna take a hit. When the dealer's got a 6 showing.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like with this whole gambling with Dak Prescott. He's been like he's lost every time.
It seems like he's
with all these deals.
I mean, he's sitting there he's playing blackjack. He's got like a 5 and a 4. You know what I mean? He's sitting there and he's putting all of his chips in. He's bluffing. He's thinking he's going to win this negotiation.
I would like tell me one deal that they've won. I want to
No, I
hear
know.
just one. Just say, oh, yeah, we
What's
can
up,
point to
G-Money
that one.
Productions? Hold up. Bryce Huff and Montez Sweat are great pass rushers. Bryce Huff is a part-time player with the Jets. G Money, we'll see. You can't tell me he's going to be a success as of now. You don't know anything. He was, again, he's never played more than 30% of the snaps for the Jets. So we'll see. They're going to be. You better have Montez or Sweat and his. Again, I don't think you're very deep on that defense. You have some studs. Eagles have some studs up front. We know that.
Yeah.
But you got C.J. Gardner-Johnson that you added, and you added
And you got
Bryce Huff.
will Jordan Davis, need oxygen? They
Again.
still are swearing that he is like, what's his name from Tampa Bay? Warren Sapp. You would think that's who they had there or something.
Jerome Brown 2.0.
Right. CJ, mom's chilling with her wine, celebrating for her birthday. Happy birthday to her, and it's my best friend, like my big brother's birthday, who passed. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that, CJ.
They will be
just holding my
enough
gin.
for the Eagles. G-Money, again, I think what's going to help your defense is your offense. It puts a lot of pressure on your offense to have to score 30 points a game, kind of like Dallas last year. You just don't have a Micah Parsons, really, or a D-Law for that matter. But your defensive line, your two defensive tackles are above average. I would say your safety and C.J. Gardner-Johnson is above average. Other than that, it's nothing. Nothing too great. That's all I'm saying. Listen,
Yeah.
G-Money, you finished 30th in the league last year in defense.
31st in
player.
secondary. In pass
Yeah, you
defense.
lost your best player. You did go out and get a C.J. Gardner-Johnson, so that's good. But we'll see if Reddick is going to be good or bad. We don't know yet. I'm not here to hammer him. I think you win. I think you make the playoffs. So it's all about getting into the playoffs.
Man, you're getting your Pink's food truck ready for Cleveland. Oh my God!
What's up, CJ?
Let me say
13-3 Cowboys,
hello
NFC
to
Championship
Ginger
team.
Rogers.
Wow.
Oh, wrong one. Got it in the wrong place.
So what's the trick? You can do 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, on some of them, because I actually wanted to get Biggie to all the ladies in the place with style and grace. That one got flagged.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I got Ginger Rogers and I got Lady Libra. What's up? But I'm happy with
Go
LL.
about doing that.
I just kind of cut that section and then I upload it like a video, keep it private, and see if it gets hit. If it doesn't get hit, then it's okay. Cool.
Oh,
Bring it
okay,
in.
gotcha.
Yeah, so that way you're basically testing the system ahead of hand. Philly D in the house. We got Sugar Daddy Williams. What's up, Sugar Daddy? Dwayne Sweeney. SSL TV. What's going on? What's good? Lola said that's her song. So she's like, do I need to change yours up then? Do I need to go silky?
Yeah, I think you do.
Okay. So how do you feel about Dak's contract? Do you think it's going to get done? I want it to get done so bad. I am sick and tired. I got my man, my computer guy sending me a text message. It looks like you're going to finally get rid of your nephew, Dak, and move on, and I couldn't be happier. And I'm kind of like, how is it when we have some decent players, they always just get trashed?
What's up, CJ? Yeah, again, I don't think it gets done, but Dak seems to be willing to allow it to go into the regular season, which is good because that tells you he's focused on football. At some point, I would say this. If the talks weren't going half decent, he would have come out and said no more talks. Obviously, they're not that far away.
That's what we're hearing.
You know what I mean? Just think about it, people. If they were far away, Dak would be, all right, just shut it down. He has to, because that mentally would screw anybody up. So I think they're close. Do I think it gets done before the season? I don't. But we keep hearing that November. Dak didn't close the door, which is productive. If indeed that we get out to a 3-1 start, he's getting that deal because that is huge.
Hold on, timeout. I want to know how the hell, I'm assuming this is a Commanders fan since it's Commanders XXX 1985, that Dak is holding the Cowboys from success. How the hell does a Commanders fan talk about success? That is an oxymoron if I've ever heard of. Success? Bro, you wish you had made the damn playoffs the last 3 years. You wish your team was 12-5. Get the fuck out of here, man. What the hell? Don't be stupid.
Stacey White, how do you see the Cowboys going this season? Shout out to Stacey.
Shut all the way the
Shut up, man. Just shut up. I'm sorry, Stacey, and we got Renee in the house too.
Silky, milky, your smile is like sunshine. That's why I had to dedicate at least one rhyme.
All right, sorry. It's just everybody's jumping in, and it's just getting crazy in here. And then we got idiots like
I
Commander
gotta do
fans.
something like that for when I see the on the stray woman that comes into my show.
Well, here's the thing, Stacey
come up with
White. How are
something.
you seeing the Cowboys going this season? Well, I put a poll out, and I think the Cowboys are still going to win 11 games. You know, as much as and I'll give you my exact reason why, Stacey. Shout out to you for the super chat. Here's my thing. You still have some true players. Now, anything can happen in a season. Anybody can get hurt. You know, you lose your quarterback, all bets are off. I have seen my Cowboys offensive line with Dak Prescott. You know, there's the knock on him that says he's always had everything. You know, Colin Cowherd literally called him a trust fund kid. You know, this is a guy who was raised by a single parent, you know, and everything else in Louisiana. He was not born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Be that as it may, we've seen the Cowboys have mixed offensive line between having Joe Looney and B.A.M at center. We had, you know, for a while there, Jason Peters, who could only play about, 10, 15, 20 plays in a game. We've got guys that are no longer in the NFL that, were basically playing. We've had rookies starting and stuff that, never should have been out on the field. But the Cowboys offense always scored points. And even last year, people are making fun of Zeke Elliott and Dalvin Cook. Even last year, we were only the 14th rated running attack. We still scored a lot of points with a Michael Gallup that was on one leg. Dan Orlovsky says we're unproven. I agree that we are unproven, but, Brandon Cooks is a guy that's been there for a long time. We know what CeeDee Lamb can do, and I expect Jake Ferguson to take another step up. And just getting rid of Michael Gallup, I think, will make Jalen Tolbert better. You'll get more production from that position than you did before. As far as the offensive line goes, yes, they're young, but they're young guys that are studs that are going to make some really good plays, and they're going to have some mistakes too.
You just, and I'm just, no offense, Commander fan, but I'm talking about the Eagles because that's what everybody's telling us how great they are. Again, we're the team who's won 12 games. Mm-hmm. We were the team, I got, there was somebody who criticized my prediction of the Eagles at 10-7, and they were like, "Oh yeah, your big game was beating the Eagles." Well, we should have beat you twice last year. Okay, we should have beat you twice. We beat you 31-13, then we lost by 5 points. We were at the 5-yard line in the link with over 20 seconds to go. And shout out to you stopped us, but it was literally a final possession game. We could have walked out with 2 W's. You can't have it both ways. You can't say we have young offensive line when they've already come out in the preseason and had unbelievable amount of snaps. Mm-hmm. The push that Cooper Beebe is getting from the center position is none like we've seen since it's in the likes of Travis Frederick. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's Travis Frederick year one. What I'm saying is on running downs, he's blowing off the ball. He's gaining the line of. That's huge, people. Just wait and see when Dak's able to have that little bit of step up. You know what I'm saying?
Biotish was always high, and players, physical defensive tackles would get up underneath of him and just ride him right back into Dak Prescott's lap. In which case, you couldn't step up.
Yeah, they wanted Hoffman to win the job. Mm-hmm. They anointed Hoffman, the offensive line coach, the beginning of training camp. McCarthy came out, all Brock is the first one in the building. Yep. The fact of the matter is, the talent that Cooper Beebe is bringing to the table, he's come, and Mark will tell you, he's played the line. And
he's played every position but center. Okay.
But, it's not easy to do. That's probably the hardest spot on the offensive line is to snap a ball, especially a guy like a Jordan Davis or Jalen Carter sitting in front of you. It's not easy. And he did it and hasn't skipped a beat and has improved every practice. So much so that they gave him the starting job. That's incredible to me.
Yeah.
Especially
He's
when the
strong.
quarterback
He's like a
is
bull.
saying, yeah, especially when the quarterback's like Brock Hoffman, and now it's like, wow, this he knows. And then Tyler Guyton has done nothing but do what they ask. Is he going to have his growing pains? Yes, Mark, he is going to have his growing pains, like
boy.
every other player that's a rookie. All right, I mean, is that fair?
The amount of haters, pick and pop. What happens if you take away the 35 points from Bland? Okay, well, we'll see.
All right, then.
Okay, then somebody else picks up the slack.
But that just goes to show you, though, we were doing it with mirrors last year.
Oh, my God.
And an easy schedule. I mean, it is what it is. Eagles had an easy schedule last year. What happened?
Well, Carl says, Mark, I'm glad we're starting off with a tough team. No tomato can this year. You know what'll happen, though?
I like that, too. Get it out of the way.
If we beat – but here's the thing. We beat Cleveland, they're going to say, well, Cleveland's got problems. You realize that will be the narrative.
I'm holding the receipts.
They're going to say, their left tackle was out. Deshaun Watson had a hurt shoulder. They're already talking, actually.
I got you, Az man. I'm cooking.
You guys want to talk about Dak Prescott being overpaid and, we need to get rid of him. Deshaun Watson, okay, they restructured his deal. I don't think people realize his cap number the next 2 years after this year is $73 million. Fully guaranteed. Fully guaranteed. It's like, because they keep pushing his money down the road and hoping that he's going to be the guy. At this point, I don't know that you can trade him without taking a massive hit. There's rumors that Jameis Winston may be the starter by the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So as I look at this game and I say one of their receivers is nicked up, one of their offensive linemen, their starters, is not going to be there. And your quarterback's had a sore arm through most of training camp.
To me, if we win on the road, and yeah, I will get back.
5 losses on the road last year.
Yeah, just real quick. Yeah, my bad. You did have a first place schedule, Eagles. Yes, you are correct. I believe what I meant to say was Bev.
Hold.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold.
I hear you. You did have a first place schedule.
They can't use that, bro.
But that's why I didn't use it
bro,
because it turned out that they weren't that great. The teams
Bro,
that they played.
Okay, that would hold water if they weren't losing to the Cardinals, the Giants,
teams, Bev.
Seattle, and the Cowboys. Saying. Okay, it wasn't like you lost to the good teams. You lost to the ass teams. Come on, explain that to me. Explain that one to me. I can look and I say, yeah, we lost to the Cardinals.
Yeah, here
we
lost
go. To the Cardinals because we lost Diggs, 2 days before the game, and I think that was a shock. But you guys,
Bev, this is how
you guys were picked to be Super Bowl favorites, and you lose to the dreads of the NFL.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's what
I don't
I'm
want to
saying.
hear.
You beat all the hard teams, right? You beat all the hard teams is what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you beat the Buffaloes, the Miamis, right? The Kansas City Chiefs. But then you lost. Let's face it. You beat Washington twice. They were horrendous.
I was going to say Philly D, but we still won 11 games. Bro,
you did.
You had to go to overtime against the Commanders. You gave up 31 points.
But I'm
31 points twice
them,
to the Commanders.
Listen, all I'm saying is, Philly D, I'm not taking wins away from you. Mark can, and that's cool. Yeah, we don't have to agree. Yeah. But, just go back and look at your wins, Bev. Just look at the wins that you had. You beat the good teams and lost to the easy teams. Then the old adage, is that's like a Dallas move. We'll go out. Well, we can't beat the Niners, so I can't say that. But we'll go out and win a tough team, and then go to Arizona and get waxed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's what we do, and it seemed like that's what you did last year.
Mm-hmm.
Coming down the stretch, that was supposed to be the easy part of your schedule.
Right.
That's what
they should have coasted into being, winning the division.
I meant. But regardless, Again, if Philly D's going to flex on 11 and you're entitled, Philly D, I mean, I get it. You backed into 11. We got 12, yet it's not good enough. Why? Because we haven't had postseason success. They like to throw that in, So, I'm not allowed to throw in because I was doing the W's and L's and I had the Eagles losing in Dallas when we go. I'm not allowed to throw it in because I'm looking at my season is beating the Eagles, all because I picked Dallas to beat the Eagles in one of two games. If I don't say Dallas loses both, I'm a homer. I don't know how that's fair to you guys. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
We
people.
never lose 2 games to the Eagles.
We can't have rookies be successful, but you can. We can't have, first-year assistant coaches and be successful, but you can. It makes no sense to me. Okay, you guys are listening to Dan. You're lousy too much.
Oh my God.
And that's fine. I'm trying to brace the fall for you guys. You're going to make the playoffs. You might win a division. Stay tuned. But let's not act like you guys finished strong. You didn't.
Good old Derek says, the last time we saw the Cowboys win the Super Bowl was on black and white.
I got you, Philly D.
It's okay, bro. I've seen all of their Super Bowls.
You guys are ignoring the fact that Matt literally came in and we lost immediately. Nobody wants that dude. Toxic Bill culture. That's why we do not want Bill Belichick. You may not want him, but your owner does.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, let's touch on that for a second here. So, if you are Bill Belichick and you're coming to he's coming back, but if you decide to get rid of Dak Prescott, he's coming here. I don't see him as a rebuild guy. Do you? I mean, I see him more of like John Gruden.
No.
Yeah, I see him more like John Gruden coming in to try and take you, get you over the hump.
Exactly.
So you don't lose Dak Prescott. If you lose Dak Prescott and you look at this from the outside in, you're like, shit, and you don't have capital. Because this is where it's bad. Typically, when you are a new coach and you're coming into a team, you get to pick your quarterback and stuff because the team was bad. If the Cowboys end up being a 10-11 team, decide to move on from Mike McCarthy, and Dak walks, I'm walking in without a quarterback and no ability to get myself one other than free agency. And when you look out there in free agency, to hear some of the talking heads say, don't pay Dak, you could get Kirk Cousins. After you literally said Kirk Cousins is ass. And Kirk Cousins' playoff record, and actually record against Dak Prescott is ass.
That's a crack. Yeah, I was listening to one of them a few days ago, and they were telling about a Kirk Cousins primetime record. I'm like, it's horrendous. Why would you?
It's terrible.
Yeah. So
it's worse than Dak Prescott's playoff record.
Yeah. So, again, I screw up a lot. I screwed up. I said Sam Darnold by accident. I mean, I didn't mean that, but of course, a couple of people picked up on it. It really doesn't matter. Dustin Bosley, Derek, you just think Eagles are better. He's entitled to that. I'm not telling you that Dallas is better than the Eagles. I just don't want to hear how great you are when you. The last time you laced them up, it was not good, people.
It was actually bad.
And the same
last
head coach
7
is
times
there.
you laced up.
Your defense is not as talented without Reddick. I know you got C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I get it. But you're counting on Kenyon Mitchell. You're counting on Cooper DeJean. You're counting on Nolan Smith. You're counting on Nakobe Dean. Mm-hmm. That's very scary. So all the pressure's on that offense. If Kellen is not what you think, it could be real bad. That's why I thought your 10 wins was more than Vegas has you at 10.5. So you act like I'm that far off,
Derek says 95% of people who aren't a fan of Philly nor Dallas think Philly is better. Well, I can give you another one. I can remember a lot of people last year saying they trusted Daniel Jones more than Dak Prescott. I think
Alan?
Tiki Barber said, I'd take Daniel Jones 100 times out of 100 over Dak Prescott. And how did that work out? So, here's the great thing about being an American and all that and being here on YouTube. You can create a channel within limits, although some of these limits are getting pushed these days now. You can do a channel about anything you want to. It's you on the tube. So my channel is about being the Dallas Cowboys. I'm a Dallas Cowboy homer. I'm going to always look for the positive and stuff, okay? And it's my opinion. And everything you see, whether it's on Mark Holmes' channel or Philly 500's channel or Dan frickin' Orlovsky, is their opinion.
Yes.
Okay? It is their opinion.
The Eagles are winning the division last year.
Yes.
Okay?
And going to the Super Bowl.
We weren't going to be good. That was the opinion. Now, Derek says...
Randy's in the
defense.
house. Shout out to Randy Seitz.
Derek says you're talking about defense. Last time your defense saw the field, it was 50. Again, Derek, I know you're not close to the situation, so I'm not going to slam you. I'm really not. But Dallas's linebackers are unbelievably better this year.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Our linebacker room is 4 deep like ridiculous. And you can laugh at it, and everybody goes, "Oh, Eric Kendricks, he had 117 tackles last year." People,
yeah,
we are. I've said it before. I know people are probably tired of hearing about it, but where I worry is not on the D line right now. We've addressed it with all the pieces that we've thrown at it. I think we're going to be fine there. Are we going to be, the Great Wall? Are we going to be the doomsday, defensive line? No, but.
Well, here's what I'll say on that, because, I've compared 2020 was the great year that we brought in all the name players that you've heard of, which was Gerald McCoy, Emerson Griffin, Clinton Ha-Ha Dix, and Don Terry Poe.
What's up, Randy?
And
what's up,
we got absolutely positively nothing out of any of those guys. And so this is the question is, will we get anything out of Lavelle Joseph? Will we get anything out of Jordan Phillips? Will we get anything out of Carl Lawson? Will we get anything out of Mozzie Smith? If we can get anything out of there, if we can at least be better than Hankins, if Mozzie can step it up a little bit, then we're definitely better. The one thing I can say, without a doubt, is we got a lot more beef. Because Dan Quinn, and I feel bad and I feel good for my buddy, who unfortunately got Dan Quinn twice.
Yeah.
How the hell do you have that happen that you get Dan Quinn twice?
Look at the bright side. He's he's out of the septic tank. He's at least where the food is great. And
the facilities, as he told me, are much better in New Orleans than in Washington.
Closer to home, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah.
So he's all right. He'll be fine.
The thing with Dan Quinn always was, his thing was getting after the quarterback, fast and physical. He wants guys that are tall and lean. And so the only guys, really Hankins was really the only guy that was over 300 after they made Mozzie lose all his weight. Osa Digazua was like 285 and stuff. So we didn't have big defensive linemen. Now we got 315 pounders across the board. We got so much beef. Hell.
Where's the beef?
Yeah, Lavelle Joseph's about 340, 350? You've got Phillips is like 320. Mozzie's right about 315. So we do have bigger defensive linemen. Jordan Phillips is like 315. We've got bigger guys that we can put in there. The hope will be is that some of these defensive ends will really be able to take up the slack where Micah Parsons doesn't have to be out there as a defensive end. If they can use him and move him around like crazy, good God, it could be a scary defense.
Again, and we're not saying that that's 100% going to happen, but we have reasons for optimism. Our defense was already a top 10 defense. Who have we lost starter-wise? Okay, Hankins. Okay, Hankins wasn't a 3-down player for us.
No.
So we lost Hankins, and we lost Armstrong, who's actually starting for Washington. Armstrong had 7.5 sacks last year. And Dante Fowler, but he was very limited role. He was just a pass rushing specialist.
Right.
So I would say Dante Fowler, Carl Lawson, that's a push. So, we'll see what Nealon does. If you're going to say Nealon versus Armstrong, give me the rookie. How come we can't go with the rookie?
Right.
And yet you guys, and I'm just talking Philly because that's the ones that we're talking about. That's who I think we're going to be fighting for in the division. We have a harder schedule than the Eagles this year. So I'm going to tell everybody Dallas isn't winning 12 games. If they do, then watch out. But I'm not predicting 12 games. So we have a harder schedule.
Two questions here. Carl says, Mark, when are people going to start accepting the fact that the market for quarterback is in the millions and millions of dollars? And Bev, Van Der Esch really held y'all back. That's one of those. Here's where we're looking at these two questions. This is where you can put some of the blame for the Cowboys' problems on the front office, and they'll say, "Stop blaming the Joneses." But last year at this time, Overshown was gone for the season, and basically you only had Van Der Esch. And it's not like Van Der Esch has been an Iron Man. Van Der Esch was always one hit away from being gone. He always was, every year except for his rookie year. So that's when the Cowboys should have been looking and saying, let's go ahead and do something about linebacker now. And they didn't do anything until almost the trade, the trade deadline was when they finally started to try and look for somebody then. And it was just like, it's too late. So that's where you look at that being a problem. And as far as the quarterback, it's crazy to me because everybody is going crazy that, oh my God, Dak Prescott, he might be $60 million. You know what? 2 years from now, we're going to look back and we're going to say, $60 million, I wish he could be 60. We had this exact same conversation 3 years ago. You can't pay a quarterback $40 million. Remember that?
Yeah.
Right? How can the quarterback market is going to level off? And it's like he's not going to be the highest paid player forever. It's not like this is it. There's never going to be an increase in money. There is going to be so much more freaking money in the NFL. You see what just happened with DirecTV, right?
Yes, I did.
They dropped ESPN for the moment while they're trying to negotiate. And you've got the Sunday ticket, right?
I did, yes.
Okay. So you know about they're doing a whole bunch of
Phil, actually. He hooked me up. I'm part of his family.
Okay, well, they've got the upgrades where you're going to be able to see multiple camera angles.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that.
That you can pick up and things. And of course, you can do the quad box with 4 games and everything else. So literally, if I have like 2 70-inch TVs, I can see the whole NFL right there on those 2 TVs and be in great shape.
Right.
Guarantee you that price is going to go up next year. It ain't going to be $2.99 next year. It's going to be probably $4.99 or something like that because the NFL knows we're going to make money. Here's how crazy it is. After winning that lawsuit, they're going after the plaintiffs for $399 million.
I know. I mentioned that.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Not for litigation fees, but for all the other
attorney fees.
Yeah,
It's like, are you serious? So understand that when you have games in Brazil that nobody really wants to go to.
It was more like travel expense, they were saying. They made sure they said it wasn't the attorney's fees because that was far
Stacey
more.
White. Wish Dak would not sign and move on to a team that respects him and the ability to win a Super Bowl. Jerry's so disrespectful. How do you feel about that? Here's my
Two-way street.
It
I'm
really
gonna be
is.
a little bit harder on them than you might, but it's a two-way street, Stacey, in my opinion. They should have paid him a year ago. Mm-hmm. So I'm already on board with saying that they should have already have paid him. They wait too long to see more leaves fall, and it just costs you more money because TV deals are always coming. Things are always changing, especially now with streaming. It's only going up. Now, me and Wade do think that it's going to plateau as far as each position. I think the quarterback market is going to plateau, but there's going to be some idiot that will bust through it. Mm-hmm. But I think that he should have been paid already. But if he would have went out and sliced and diced Green Bay, he probably would have had a deal. So again, it's a two-way street. So it's a team game, but he didn't help himself out in that particular game. So
well, I don't know that, but CD Lamb did.
No, he did not.
Because I'm looking,
and he waited.
I'm sitting here looking at CD Lamb, the first couple of drops that he had early in the game, where he literally his body language and everything else was like, "Why am I here?"
Not. Yep.
So, but it didn't prevent him from getting paid.
Well, yeah, but they brought it down to the wire here. Whereas they still have time. If they get it done before the season, then it's basically what they did with CD. This team can't walk and talk at the same time. They can only focus on one thing at a time.
For the Sunday ticket, they don't have any television monitors there, bro. I hate to tell you. There's no televisions there, but you can get your pinks on.
Yeah, right.
Oh boy.
Any update on the Eagles game?
The Eagles game, it looks like it's still going to be going on. Although so it's kind of like everything is happening all at once here to try and get this thing. There are some calls because Brazil decided X is not going to be allowed to be played in Brazil, as in Twitter, because of all of the stuff that's on Twitter. They're kind of like, it's toxic. We're no longer having Twitter is now banned in Brazil. So you have a lot of people on Twitter that are saying that they need to, not play there because of that. There are the forest fires that are going on that are also there, but as of right now, we haven't heard the NFL
I'm
say
shocked
they're
the
making
Eagles
a call.
went along with it. I'm absolutely shocked. I don't know how it works, if they have a say, but they're losing a home game to Brazil. I think it's crazy. I think those games should be left for the Cincinnati Bengals. Not that they don't have good fans, but their ownership. Let's face it, they don't have a lot of money wrapped up. The Jacksonville Jaguars, maybe the Carolina Panthers,
Well,
Houston
the Jaguars
Texans.
are England's team. I mean, they already go every year to England.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure Arizona Cardinals probably. Let's get some of the lesser teams as far as markets wise and send them over there because they get the gate. But a team like the Eagles is getting penalized by being a home team over in Brazil. Just like they'll never do it. Well, did they? Dallas played in London. Was Dallas the away team or the home team? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
I'm just curious.
So Ginger Rogers is asking what's the benefits of having YouTube TV over Sling TV. I don't have Sling TV, so I can't compare what they have.
I love YouTube TV,
but,
Ginger.
I mean,
let me just tell you.
The only
I've had
thing I
DirecTV.
don't like about YouTube TV is it's delayed by about 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That's the only drawback.
So when you stream during the game, I'm the last to get it usually. That's why I don't look at the chat. But Ginger, I really enjoy. I've had the cable is good and all, but it's so expensive. So I finally got rid of all my cable boxes.
The freedom. Listen, the freedom of having YouTube TV is I can take a TV from downstairs and just plug it in. I don't have to worry about a cable box as long as it's a smart TV. And here's what's kind of cool, at least for me, is I have YouTube TV at my house in Northern Virginia, and I use that same set here. And like during the preseason game, Mike is up at Gina's house. He's watching the game on, his icon and stuff up there in Pennsylvania. I'm here, at the Red Brick House, and I'm watching.
How long they're going to allow that? Your family,
the family plan. Hey, until they change it, I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, getting to her thing. I had Hulu, and I didn't like the cameras that Hulu uses for their sports. It was horrible, Ginger. Don't ever do Hulu if you like sports. I mean, you can literally see the difference.
I got bootleg streaming. It works for me. Okay.
I had cable. That was so expensive. I unloaded all the boxes. When I went to YouTube TV, and what's good is now that it's blowing up, they keep adding and adding and adding. Now when you have the sports... Like when you watch YouTube TV, like Mark's saying, you have the quad boxes all over. Like on Saturday, there was multiple channels, and you could customize what games go in those quad boxes.
Right.
So, not that I do that, but if I'm sitting here doing something and I have my 75-inch hanging on the wall, I could have 4 games going. I could have a game on my monitors and just kind of get a feel of what's going on.
DirecTV, but maybe they do have the streaming. DirecTV, the fact that they ended up killing ESPN just before the U.S. Open and the LSU game, to me says they're not stable enough. And I still have that freaking dish on top of my house that I hate, but I'm too scared to get up there and cut that sucker off of it. But I'm again, to each his own. To each his own. Yep. I am very happy with my YouTube TV.
I agree,
and streaming on that.
Derek says, give the AS teams a game in Brazil if it's going to be this big of a deal playing there. Yeah, I don't know why we're going to Brazil, and I don't know why this whole green thing, and they should have done their homework. It's all about the money for the NFL, Derek, so it doesn't matter about anything.
I'm not mad at Brazil, though, because I got a lot of fans from Brazil because I
like
recorded the J-Lo halftime show, and all these people from Brazil became followers.
Because they're all a bunch of freaks out there.
Hey, look, hey, don't listen, man. That fan's a fan. Don't mess.
I love Brazil. Brazil.
Gina
I just don't want to
Thorne-
go there and play a football game.
Gina
My
Dallas
team.
Diva says CD better get his
Hey, Drew,
his
what's
shit
up, brother?
together. Ooh.
Apple TV, yeah, Crazy Corvette. That's not bad. Apple TV, but
Oh
the
my
problem is
God.
getting back to
He
Direct
listened.
TV. Huh?
I see.
There he
I
is.
have to actually applaud him
The bat
because he
signal.
didn't come in hot this time. He actually said hello, Mark, in game time and waved. This is Drew. As opposed to just coming in, Dak sucks. Dak's a piece of shit. I appreciate that. Okay, I know, but at least smile and say hello before you knock me
Ginger,
upside the
here
head.
we go.
So we know it's coming.
It's all good. He's misconstrued sometimes, but he doesn't back down, so you got to give him credit for that. I had DirecTV, and they cut the damn game in the third quarter between LSU and USC. Randy McIntyre.
That was fucked up.
Back in the day was when we had a storm, you saw it. You could literally go up on your roof and put your hand over the signal and cut it. I did that once. I was messing with my kid. I was like, but
Carl,
nah.
Okay, they've got some fine women with big butts. Okay. All right,
There's a
we'll
song
go
for
there.
that, isn't there?
Yeah, well, Dustin Bosley.
Cue it up. Oh, sorry.
So I've
like
enjoyed actually watching Mike McCarthy's press conferences.
He's so God.
No, I would
boring.
rather watch Mike McCarthy's than Jerry Jones's at this point.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
But he was actually, dropping some real knowledge. And this is another one of those things, because it's like Shannon Sharp. I'm not a big fan of Shannon Sharp, but he said something that I'll always remember is, every day you're writing a eulogy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And Mike McCarthy said, he was kind of like introspective, and he was talking about how fast time goes by. And he said his dad used to always say, if time's going by fast or too fast, it's because you're doing too many things.
Man, water. I'm drinking water.
And I was like, yeah, that's true, because that's what I'm always like, man, there's not enough time. Time's going by too fast. And it's probably because, like you always say, I'm trying to do too much shit.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Too much.
Trying to leave my mark in this place before I leave it.
Respect for what? Because I don't give a damn. Kick me out then. I respect Mark and enjoy his channel. I don't know. Relax. Everybody relax. Bang, bang.
I think we all need football. So here's the bottom line here. After going through training camp and seeing the numbers, the worst the Cowboys have had in like forever for fans, seeming most of the fans aren't really excited, and being like people like, let's say, Walker Wade, who is kind of like, he's Jekyll and Hyde. One day he says, pay Dak Prescott $60 million after he sees Trey Lance playing like axe. The next minute it's like he sucks and he's a bum and he's the fault for all of our problems.
I'm kind of that way because Dallas has done that to us. Because, last year we get on such a roll. Just think, Mark, last 3 years we've won 12 games each year. You would expect that we would have broken through one of these games. He's good enough to win the games in the regular season, albeit maybe against average to subpar teams.
Need some glory holes tonight. Okay. Yeah.
What happened?
Well, no, somebody says that we need some glory holes tonight. Okay. Holly Pierce. What's up, Holly?
Silky, milky, her smile is like sunshine. That's why I had to dedicate at least one rhyme.
What's up, Leon? How are you doing?
Glory hole.
There you go. We need some glory holes. I'm going to say, you know what? We haven't heard from Jerry in a couple days, have we?
No, he's in deep
negotiations.
Yeah, I do believe so.
Ever since the one on Friday when he said, if you haven't seen it, and I think some people took it differently. At least they took it differently than I took it.
I hear his stuff differently when I hear it than when I see it written.
Because it's how you take it out of context and you write it.
It's like, that's why I don't like texting. Mark will do that to me a lot. We'll text and it's like, I'll read it like, what the hell? And then
that's because I'm illiterate.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't mean that. What's up, Mark and Game Time? What's up, Jimbo? How are you, man? Yeah, so it's just like anybody else. When you text somebody something, they want to read. If they're a negative person, they want to read into context. Oh, you're being no. That's why I don't like texting unless I have to.
Dirty Sanchez, why you gotta be 60 draws, man? You even really draws with the accent. Come
I need
on,
some
bro.
silky draws.
Oh God,
that's Dirty Sanchez. That's why.
Okay, so Darth, here's the problem for Secure Sanders, okay? Let's think about this for a second. Dak is what, 32-8 in his division in his career, right? How many years have we had, like, below 8-win seasons?
It's been a while.
Generally speaking, I don't think we've been worse than second in our division.
I don't understand why all the hate. Oh, you guys are going to win 5 games. That's just a troll to me.
So the thing is, the Cowboys more than likely will be a playoff team. Forget what Dan Orlovsky says that the Rams are better and Seattle is better, even though they beat Seattle. And that's maybe 2 teams from the South. Yeah. Oh, come on, bro. The South sucks. Everybody's always on Atlanta's bandwagon. Oh, Atlanta. And every year they suck, okay? And nobody from the South is going to be higher than the Cowboys. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. This is not going to happen. Tampa Bay may still be decent this year, but they still got some problems and things right there. They're not a great team. Atlanta, it's fool's gold. New Orleans.
Everybody's loving Atlanta. I don't see it.
I know. Well, everybody loves the Eagles too, but I don't see that either. They were loving the Giants last year too, weren't they?
I agree, Randy. And then I heard that who was it saying? It was one of the people in my chat. I don't want to say his name, but
love you too, HG.
He was basically saying, "Oh well, because I was like, we're not going to be able to get to Shedeur Sanders. Even if we win 9 games, we're going to be too far away, right? Okay. So it's like, I don't know why we keep going.
San Fran went from 12 to what, 3 or 4 for Trey, and it was 3 number ones and some
Dallas
seconds.
Isn't doing that, okay? Like, when are you going? The only way that would happen is if he slid out of the top 10, which quarterbacks never do, especially if your last name is Sanders. And, then maybe. But, again, I'm not opposed to getting a young guy. I told Mark that when he joined.
At this point, you do need to start trying to reload.
Yeah. But
then again, you got Trey Lance.
Again, I'm fine with keeping Trey for like a couple more years. Give him a chance to improve. Again, he's 23 years old, people. There's quarterbacks. Bo Nix is older than him. The Broncos starting rookie quarterback is older than Trey Lance. And it feels like Trey Lance has been in the league for years, which he has. But he hasn't gotten a lot of reps. Mm-hmm. So everybody Trey Lance is fine being number 3. That's where he belongs. The poor kid needs time to just be able to watch, practice, and try and improve. That's what they need.
Well, at this
Sanders
point,
will be on this team next year if it doesn't plan. It's been the plan all along. Johnny Vegas, how are we getting him?
You know what this reminds me of?
How are you getting him? They love their draft picks. They're not trading 3 number 1s. That'll never happen again. Never.
What's our buddy from Puerto Rico?
That's the guy I wasn't going to tell. Yeah, that's Ultra Cowboy.
Ultra. You know what this feels like? Because that year when Tua was coming out, all I kept hearing from was tank for Tua. We got to get Tua. Okay? And this is the same kind of feel here. All because of Mike freaking Tenenbaum, goes out and says, oh, I see him. But this is the same guy that 2 days before it says, that they have no other option.
Could be, Vinny.
That they need to just lock each other in the room until they get the deal hammered out. And now it's like, oh, well, I see Shedeur Sanders. What made you see now all of a sudden Shedeur Sanders in with the Cowboys that you didn't see 2 days before?
I love the kid. I do. But I don't know how you're going to get him. And he's not a lock. Again, I love the kid. But man, a couple of those hits he took against a college team, he ain't gonna make it in the pros. He's gonna be knocked out of the game.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I agree with you on that one. The real fan, the only way he's gonna get better is to playing. And if you're the number 3 quarterback, you ain't getting a whole lot of reps.
Yeah.
Okay. And I hope that they didn't do Cooper Rush a disservice by only having him in 3 series in preseason.
Yeah. That was their way of. Whether they want to admit it or not, is using leverage against Dak. Because if Trey Lance, when it came out and lit it up, they might have just said, we're definitely not signing Dak, and they would have had the public opinion. Nothing went the way that they wanted as far as the Cowboys.
That's where it goes back to Jerry's gambling.
Nothing went their way in the court of public opinion, and that's where they like to roll. That's where that... Yeah, they like to play. They like to play in the public, and if it's close, they're gonna ride and spin it. It's hard to spin 5 interceptions in 4 quarters of football. It's hard to spin that.
Yeah,
It looks
James.
bad.
Yeah, I did. You saw the 49er wide receiver rookie got shot.
Yeah,
They said that the
he's
bullet, his mother said the bullet went all the way through and didn't hit any vital organs. So he's fortunate from that standpoint. And they
4
said,
games he's out.
yeah, which is amazing when you think about him being shot. It reminds me when somebody from the Commanders got shot, one of the running backs. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But they still don't have Trent Williams signed, do they?
No, he's not in either.
And you got Jamar Chase talking about missing what?
Yeah. Well,
he's back.
Yeah, he's back. He reported supposedly.
He's been holding in. Is he practicing now?
Yeah, he's slowed.
Okay.
Then
that must have just happened because I thought they were talking about him maybe holding out for a couple of games without a new deal.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dak Prescott will never be Texas Warren Moon. Facts, suicides. Warren Moon actually had a lot of interceptions. Warren Moon's an incredible quarterback, but he threw the ball away a lot of times.
Yeah.
And his playoff records weren't very good either. I'm just kind of saying. Is DMV coming over? I hope he is. I'm going to be back home, and I'm going to be doing a big Reuben sub for the game and some Jobu wings and stuff. Yeah, so we're definitely going to throw down. Chase is not practicing. Cooper Rush didn't even get a whole drive. World is a messed up place. Chase wants 1 penny more than Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I heard that. That he wanted at least one more penny than. But he's still got 2 years left on his deal. That's where it gets to be ridiculous.
Yeah. We talk about Guyton, a left tackle. What do you think of right tackle? Right tackle, per Zach Martin, he came out and did an interview. He said that it was night and day how Terrence Steele looks. Terrence Steele right now is playing with a lot of confidence, more like the guy year prior when he got hurt, who was playing at a Pro Bowl level. So right tackle looks to be finally back to where it was 2 years ago. Again, everybody doesn't get
an ACL.
Yeah, I mean, he tore his ACL later in the season and came back. And I was on board with what he was saying. It's one thing to ride a bike and run. It's another thing to play football. So, again, maybe he wasn't quite ready, but give him credit for grinding through and playing every game last year regardless. But he looks good now. Zach Martin said he looks like his old self, and he goes, he's happy for him. So that's all you could do. The one and only Ron the Dime. How you feeling, my man? I hope all is well. I'm praying for you, my friend. Pepper's View. Bang, bang, Philadelphia. Brazilian woman. They want nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Steele has been quite good, sign. Okay. Hope we can find a swing tackle. When was Matt overrated? He didn't have the greatest teams around him. Okay.
Let's see. By the time the midseason rolls around, the Cowboys could be great up the middle rushing. In the preseason, we rushed a lot better. Randy McIntyre, agreed. I know I have Mark Hutchinson, who hates Deuce Vaughn. He hates him. I'm like, listen, Deuce Vaughn is run. If he does just run the way they're telling him to run, he's going to be a weapon, people. It's funny how Eagles fans are making fun of Deuce Vaughn's size when they had Darren Sproles. I don't know how.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
This is true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the guy's going to do.
It looks like Rico is going to be running back one. Thoughts?
Rico Dowdle. Yeah. Rico, yeah. I think it's going to be a rotation. My son asked me about Dalvin. Like, the question is Dalvin even going to dress?
For this first game, that'll be a good question.
I mean, I'm just saying, everybody keeps talking Dalvin Cook. He's on the practice squad, people. We have to make a spot for him. So I don't think he's going to be playing. That's my thing. I think it's going to be a deal where they're going to roll with Rico, Zeke, and Deuce Vaughn and mix in the fullback Lepke. And then we'll see how Zeke looks after 6-8 games, and then you'll have a guy like Dalvin to be able to come in towards the end of the year to give you some juice. It's anything I'm thinking, but I don't know.
For me, I actually like the idea of keeping their carries down, because we always seem like we're, limp, so by the time we get to playoffs, as far as
Right.
the running game, they're always worn
Yeah.
out. Because we got Zeke, and then we got, of course, Tony Pollard, and they've just been pounded and pounded and pounded and nicked up. Rico starting running back. It sounds like he is running back one, but again, like you said, it's going to probably be a mix
Yeah.
where you have Rico and you've got, Zeke's going to be mixed in there.
I
And
got
maybe
news
a little
for
bit
you.
of Deuce Vaughn.
Derek, if we got a lead in the fourth quarter, it won't be Rico. It'll be a mix. It'll be Zeke, be grinding, the time down. It'll be guys like that, and probably Hunter Lepke. Hey Brian, didn't Romo throw 5 picks in Buffalo? Yes, he
help
did,
me,
Dave.
Rhonda.
And we got our butts
Your smile is
kicked.
like sunshine. That's why I had to dedicate at least one rhyme.
Shout out to Rhonda in the house. She's a lefty. Shout out to all the lefties. All right, before we get out of here, what else you got to add? What you got going on this week? I know you got some members-only chats coming up.
What's today? Monday?
Today's Monday. Yeah, I know you haven't been to work in a month, so you probably just don't even know what day it is anymore.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll just do a few videos, like a couple videos during the day. Wednesday we got the channel member Zoom call. Thursday I'm streaming the game, Ravens Chiefs. Friday I'm streaming Eagles in Brazil, and then obviously the game on. I'll be with Prime Time on Saturday. I'll be working, and then we'll have our show on Saturday. Then we're back to streaming on Sunday. So we're getting busy here. The busy part of the season is upon us. People enjoy it.
I can't wait to start streaming at 1:00 on Sunday. Cowboys at 4:00. Boom. Hopefully the Eagles have lost on Friday. That would be the dream scenario. Although it might be quiet though, it'll be like crickets if the Eagles.
Yeah,
if the Eagles
really
lose.
want the Eagles to win, so they're in there flexing the whole game. Yeah, your Dallas sucks. You lost to Cleveland.
I'd be okay with that kind of quiet. Okay, 'cause I will literally call them all out and say you're a bunch of fair weather cockroaches. Mark, tie down your home casting house.
Tie down your home.
Okay. Tie down my home casting.
Oh, God, I don't know what that means. H.G. Wells.
I don't know on that one either.
I'm scared.
I know there was a hellacious storm that came through yesterday. Shit, that rain was going sideways.
Who does Cincinnati play? The 70s fan. I probably would go with Joe Burrow this week, but I don't know. Roll the dice, man. Go with your. They have reported Dalvin did not work out. He was not on a team. What are you talking about? I don't know. Greetings, Rhonda Lovely. How are you, Rhonda? How you been, Rhonda? I haven't been seeing you around. I've been checking out your channel here and there. Dustin Bosley, thanks, brother. So yeah, that's what we got going on. This is the busy season coming. Just placed an order. I'm working on the website. It may not be ready by next weekend, but it's getting there. There's gonna be a lot of T-shirts on the website, and I will be having that soon. So everybody keeps saying they want some merch. So
okay,
it's coming. What's up, Michael Grab? How are you, brother?
All right. Well, definitely, if you are going to go ahead and do a little gambling, definitely check out BetUS because they've got the 125% matching. I am taking the over 10.5 with the Dallas Cowboys. But what? You don't think that's a good bet?
No, I'm just saying that's.
And I'm taking over 29.5 TDs for Dak.
I love that bet. That's the bet I love.
Okay. Now, how about while we're talking about
I just
this,
think there's not a lot.
What do you
of
think about Jalen Hurts 21.5 TDs over or under?
It's only 21.5.
21.5.
He's going to go over.
Okay, well, his best year was last year, 23.
I know, but the one thing against, if you looked at their schedule, even though I think the defense is going to hurt them, I think they can definitely go over 21. Definitely.
Daniel Jones, 15.5.
Oof.
How sad
Thanks,
is
Randy. Appreciate it, brother.
15.5. And Washington's quarterback, I think, is 17.5 TD passes.
That's what I'm saying. If you look, when you guys get a chance, just check out the Commanders' schedule. It is unbelievably tough.
Is it?
So yes.
Well, I'm
I
glad my
mean,
man John Ridgway is now down in
yeah.
New Orleans.
I mean, we get to play him, so that's Yeah, Philly D. I probably would go Burrow. I think Dak. I mean, we'll
Cincinnati, I
see.
think they play
I didn't look at it.
New England, I
Right.
think.
Yeah,
So
in
that's
New
almost like
England,
a
I would go Burrow. I would go Joe Burrow.
Definitely. But Bet USA, we've got the link in the description if you want to join. Definitely get that 125%. I'm still trying to see if Leo is going to go ahead and do that because, he keeps talking about how much he believes in his team. I keep trying to tell him, put your money where his mouth is. I'm betting on the Cowboys every week, point spread, every week,
Right.
and see what I end up at the end of the year. And
What is the over for Philly 500's daddy?
the over? Okay. I don't know what the over is for Philly.
By the way, King Dick back here, and so before we start this video, I gotta get this mother humping thing out of the way.
Oops. You got to get messed that one up, didn't I? Well, I'm getting ready to get out of here. I'm going to try and get some extra rest because we've got these games coming up.
Yes.
Game time. Definitely tell everybody where to find you.
Game time, Brian. You know that. Come on now.
I know that, but I want to make sure they know that.
No, that's who I was talking to.
Oh.
You know that. Yeah. Yeah, game time, Brian, man. Just you come be a part of the Mailheads crew. We're growing by the day. Come be a part of it. We do a lot of Zoom calls. Mark's like, well, geez, you're Zooming again.
I get an idea. It's like, oh my God, let me, or a text. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm on live. It's like, oh fuck, I forgot.
Listen, I'm trying to take advantage of the Zooms because once the season starts, we're not going to be able to Zoom on Sundays anymore unless I don't have as big a crowd as Mark. So it's like I could probably have them in during the games, but we'll see. I probably will do that. And once I start
that gets
into
to be hectic though, bro.
Well, again, I don't.
Especially if you got
Like my big crowd, Mark, during a live is maybe 110 people. So that's good. Don't get me wrong.
I thought you
I'm
meant
not poo-pooing
the
it.
membership call in. So
I know, but I could probably do it with that. But when you got, 300-400 people, and then you get to the games, I've been over your house. You got, 2,000 people watching you. It's kind of you really can't have a Zoom call. You just can't. You can't function.
It gets to be. It does get to be.
You can't get to the chat. I take pride in getting to the chat, and I know when I have a guest, Mark, it's hard for me to get to the chat. I tell them ahead of time. I had Philly 500 on. We talked for an hour and a half. I'm like, I'm not getting to the chat as much. It's a little rude, But I'm excited, Mark. Are you?
Yeah, I'm ready to be talking about football and not listening to Jerry Jones. This whole offseason has been so ugly with all the negativity from the fans, from the players, the lack of movement from the organization, seeing Catboy. And this is one other thing. I keep trying to get out of here, but have you noticed that we haven't seen as much recently of Stephen Jones?
We haven't, and you were the first one that I really, that I watched that. I think you're right. I think something happened where Jerry said enough is enough.
Yeah.
It's almost like this. It's almost like McCarthy, right? He's getting in trouble for the Dallas offense, and he wasn't having much input. It doesn't matter what he does. He's getting blamed for it.
Right.
Well, at some point, you got to go down swinging.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what he did last year. At some point, Jerry's like, I'm getting killed, and I'm letting
Stephen Jones to make all the decisions.
the cat boy, Mark's boy, his illegitimate
and time is
son.
getting short. I need to win another one of these before I get out of here. So, yeah,
But,
I haven't seen, because it used to be you were seeing him on press conferences all the time, Jerry, I've never seen a time when he hasn't been all in and stuff. We ain't seen any of that. It's all been kind of Jerry. And we haven't seen Jerry since Friday with the whole, if you haven't seen it by now, you're not going to see it. And, again, the way I took that was, basically, if you're a hater of Dak Prescott and you don't see it, then it's because you don't want to see it.
Yes. Right? And it's true. And if he's as bad, I know we want to get out of here, but I know if Dak is as bad as people think he is, meaning the other teams, then you would want us to re-sign him. Drew says re-sign him. I don't buy it.
So Drew was being nice tonight. What's going on? Everything okay, Drew?
No, Yeah, he's not on. He's off. So you know what I mean.
Oh, okay.
He's but why would you want it? I mean, it's a team game. So I'll just leave it at that. It's a team game. Dak has had success against not just the Eagles, the whole NFC East. As good as we think he's done against the Eagles, he's even better against the Giants. So it is what it is. We'll see. Hopefully it gets done. If not, we're going to be here anyway. So I'm going to try and stream with Mark, probably more towards like the middle of the week games, from time to time. So I know everybody keeps asking me because, they keep going back and forth between my chat and your chat. Like, yeah, we'll try and do it. I'll do mine, he'll do his, and we'll do the best we can, like those Thursday games. Maybe not this week, but, don't worry. We'll be in here doing it. We'll try and hook up when we can.
All right, good people. As always, I appreciate. Oh, wait a minute, shit! I got to do a drawing here.
Oh, that's what I want to talk about too. After you do, well,
Okay.
Mark's gonna make some plaques for me, for fantasy football.
Let's see who our winner is. We'll have a plaque. Bobby Mininsky.
Bobby Babinski. He's won a couple from me. He loads the pot.
Well, yeah, Bobby, you're a winner again. Send me an email with what you'd like. I tell you what, why don't you send me a picture and we'll do a custom plaque for you, so that way you get some, because you got everything Cowboy wise anyway. But I appreciate all of the super chats, all the new members, and everything else.
There he is. I know he was there somewhere.
All right, and that's it, good people. We're going to turn out the lights. This party's over.
They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.